Are there other dudes that are ex-military in the group?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all sort of dealing with similar stuff that I deal with myself. You can't push any more down. You can't compress any more of that, and it just starts bubbling to the surface, and you start having emotional issues or relationship issues, not realizing that it's because you haven't dealt with any of your stuff.
Yeah.
And
especially when you come from like a insanely disciplined background, right?
Yeah.
Because you were in the military. Obviously, you're in strongman as well, which is like discipline, and it's always hitting you. And then you've got all this stuff probably powering a lot of that discipline in the background, but then there's no resolution to it.
No.
Right? So that, like you said, bubbles up.
And you just push through. One day, it's been a big journey. I think Man Up, the song itself, is a reflection of that, because I talk about...
Welcome to the Roadshow podcast.
How did you come up with the idea and turn it into a song? Go.
Well, I think last time when we did Frustration, I was showing you the riff. So the riff that I had that we've used in that song, the that was something I did like a rock school when I was a kid, like 15, and they taught us some Jimi Hendrix chords, like an F, E 7th, 9th, and that sort of stuff. So I used to play like the A minor or E minor, and then I'd go down and do a bit of lead stuff around them.
Yeah.
And but I've always done that, and it was just like I've got a naturally bluesy sound when I play. Like that's just what comes out. But my voice is very country, so it sort of turned it into like a country rock sort of song.
Like 16-bar blues.
Yeah.
Shit.
But I had that, and I've had that since I was 15. And I remember showing you going, oh, and you were like, fuck, dude, we've got to turn that into a song. And I was like, okay. And then I was writing some songs a few months ago, and I wanted to write a song about like mental health, like men's mental health, and how it sort of stemmed from, for me, it was stemmed from when I was a kid, and people were like, man up, you know what I mean? Like, boys don't cry, fucking walk it off, all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
And I spent my whole life walking everything off, you know what I mean? Like, ignoring problems that we've got and stuff and just walking it off. And then I got into sort of, I don't know, say mid to late 30s, where like I think in your 20s and 30s you can bury that shit.
Easily.
You know what I mean? Like you just move on to the next thing. You just like push it aside, compartmentalize, move on to the next thing. And when you're in the military, well, that's what you do. You've got to compartmentalize shit because you're stuck on a ship with however many people. You just got to keep fucking working.
Yeah.
So you become, from what you learn as a kid, sort of, it served you well as a kid, not being the sooky boy at the school that cries about fucking everything. But as you get older, those things you put in place to protect yourself, they don't serve you anymore. And then by the time you're sort of mid-30s, you've run out of storage. You know what I mean? Like, you can't push any more down. You can't compress any more of that shit, and it just starts bubbling to the surface, and you start having emotional issues or, relationship issues and stuff like that, where you start doing stupid shit, not realizing that it's because you haven't dealt with any of your stuff.
Yeah.
And
especially when you come from like a insanely disciplined background, right? Because you were in the military. Obviously, you're in strongman as well, which is like discipline, and it's always hitting you. And then you've got all this stuff probably powering a lot of that discipline in the background, but then there's no resolution to it.
No.
Right? So that, like you said, bubbles up. And
and you just push through, and then one day, and it happens. I haven't met a man that hasn't happened to yet. Where in your 20s you can push through fucking anything, man.
A lot of things.
Like there's nothing that you can't sort of push through. And then you hit your early 30s and it gets a little bit harder to push through some of the things. You're starting to get tired at that point. Like I've been working since I was like 14, 15. So you start to get tired at that point. And then once you get tired and worn out, like for me, my ADHD started like, I didn't even realize I was ADHD until I was mid-30s. And that shit's just started like, the anxiety started piling on, all the issues started piling on. It's because, I just spent my whole life manning up, like just pushing through everything instead of actually dealing with it. So once I started dealing with it, started going to men's groups and realised that well, I'm not alone in the way I think.
Yeah.
We all sort of, like, especially guys my age, your age, like we've all been pushing through things our whole life, and you think you're on your own when you can actually sit down with a group of men. And like, we've had guys come to the groups that they're there for the ice bath. They come for the ice. They're not, but in their head they've convinced themselves, I'm going to go and we're just going to give the ice bath because it's a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole reason we do it at a lot of the men's groups. And people come there for that, and by the end they're fucking opening up because they're hearing other guys say, oh yeah, I've dealt with this issue or that issue, and they sit back and go, oh, I'm not alone. This is not just me. I'm not the only one that thinks like this. You know,
the ice bath, is it like an all-in group ice bath, or is it one at a time?
One at a time.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've had.
So that sucks personally.
It does, but that's the point. Like like when you meet people who've done an education, or they've spent years, like whether it's a education at a university, or whether it's education like autonomously, like where you learn how to produce music and do your podcast and you taught yourself those things. Like those people, to get that education or get that knowledge, you've challenged yourself.
Correct.
And your prefrontal cortex grows when you're challenged. The ice bath is just a different type of challenge.
Yeah.
Because I've been in an ice bath hundreds of times, but whenever I go to get in it, I'm like, fuck. Like I'll
every time, 100%
I'll
of the time.
stand in there and I'm like, oh fuck, like I've got to do this every time.
Yeah.
Like there's runners and stuff that get in it every day, and they don't have that anymore.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. I've talked to them. They do.
Yeah.
100%.
I was going to say, it's like if it doesn't become a challenge anymore, well then you're not growing.
Yeah.
You're not developing. You're not becoming better. And what I learned the first time I ever did an ice bath, I remember them talking me through it. And it's all about breathing, controlling your breath, and then you can control yourself.
Yeah, because your breath is related to your central nervous system.
But that's across the board. You learn that with the ice bath. You learn, if I can control my breath, now I'm in control of this whole situation. I can sit in this ice, ice up around my neck for like 5 minutes and be fine. Getting out's hard, but like once you're in and you control yourself, you realise, fuck, I can control anything. Like if I can control this, well, fuck, I can control anything in my life just through my breath, just through box breathing, controlling how you breathe, how you handle situations. And I think it's a really good lesson, and that's why we do it at a lot of the men's group, is because people haven't been there before. Like I remember a guy who'd never done it before was like, I'll jump in first. And we were like, we'll do a minute and a half as minimum, and then 3 minutes is the goal. Yeah. And he got in it, it's a mate of mine, he got in it, and after a minute 30, he's like, fuck, I've got to get out. And then, which is fair, but then...
Minute 30 is a decent...
But then an experienced guy's got in there,
yeah,
and he just jumped in and went, controlled his breath, and sat there for 3 minutes. And then we all got, because we saw him do it, it's like the 5 minute mile. You see someone do it, and then all of a sudden everyone else can do it.
Yeah.
And the guy who went first was like, fuck, I'm getting in again. And he got in again and he did the 3 minutes. Because once you can see that other people can do it, other men can do it, well, fucking you can do it.
Yeah,
you know, like, and once you know that you can do it, well, now you've just overcome something on your own. You know, just through controlling yourself and controlling your breath. So learning to be able to be in control of who you are and what you do, fuck, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, the whole notion of the box breathing to get in is pretty intense, because there's a couple of guys that I follow and they do the box breathing for like 2 minutes beforehand, before getting in. Yeah. They get in, and then their visceral reaction, like the stimulation of the vagus nerve, doesn't happen as viscerally to the body. It happens more like, okay, this is happening. We knew this was going to happen for the last 2 minutes. That's why we were prepping ourselves. So it's like the preparation to get in as well, right? The dictation of how it makes the difference, is it noticeable on these guys' faces? Like you can tell.
Yeah. So even after the group, like we've had guys come to the group and they just seem like tense. They've dealt with a lot of life shit, you know, like we all have, and they're just tense. And when we're talking about stuff, they're brief, like we don't expect. And I usually go in with give us a win and a challenge for the week, you know, like, and they share their challenge and they share something positive, like we want to finish on.
That's a good idea.
You know? And then, but when they initially share, it's like very brief, not very deep, you know, which is absolutely fine, man. Everyone's where they're at. And, but by the end, after we've done, like, so generally if there's new guys in the group, I will run the breath session. Yeah. And we'll do like people call it Wim Hof, but the guy didn't fucking invent it. It's just
10
breaths, breath hold, 20 breaths, breath hold, 30 breaths, breath hold, and then dropping into some meditation where we just sort of sit there and calm the whole system and just keep the mind clear and that sort of stuff. And after that, then we get in the ice bath, and then we have a chat about, you know, what our takeaway was, as in what we're going to take into the next week, you know, to sort of what we're going to focus on. You know, sometimes it can be just, I've got to take time out more for me, you know, because I find when I do 10, 15 minutes a day of just breathing or meditation, my anxiety doesn't show its head anymore because I'm sitting with my shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? I sit with myself. Like for me, I've done months and months of every morning, 10, 15 minutes of just fucking breath work. I planned it in. I get up before I have breakfast. I put a piece of paper on the study and I go that says, "Don't come in, I'm meditating," and I sit in the corner and I just fucking breathe. You know, like,
are there other dudes that are ex-military in the group?
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, and they're all sort of dealing with similar stuff that, you know, I deal with myself, you know, with PTSD and all these other things. Like, and it just teaches them to calm the central nervous system. And one of the guys, he's a fucking legend. He suffers a lot, and it was really messed his sleep up. But once he started sitting with himself, and he's done some big rebirth sessions, you know, where you just breathe through it and it just brings up all this crap.
Yeah, as you could imagine.
And he's so much calmer as a person. Wow. You know, he's more in control of himself. You know, like when someone, you know, he used to be really reactive. When someone was, you know, pushing the boundaries, like he'd be like, "Shut your fucking mouth or I'll punch you in it," and then he would. Yeah. Whereas now he sort of says, you know, "Shut your fucking mouth, I'll punch you in it," and then catches himself and is like, "All right, I need to separate myself from this situation," and he fucking goes. You know, like he was up at work one day and someone was pissing him off, and he realised that he was getting to a point where, like, because they're being assholes to another guy, and this guy was actually a decent fella who was just a bit weird, you know, and they were taking the piss out of him all the time. And he said, and it wasn't in a fun way; they were being assholes. So he sort of stood up and told them to shut the fuck up, and they sort of pushed back on him, and he realised that he was getting to a point where, okay, I'm going to fucking smack crap out of these guys. And the guy can fight, like he grew up fighting, you know, like
that whole mentality up north is fucking terrible. That fit in or fuck off shit. It's fucking disgusting. Yeah. It's you could be just like a dude that needs to feed his family. You go up north and they treat you like shit because you just don't want to get into the drinking, the daily drinking. You just want to focus on yourself, do your exercise, eat healthy if you can while you're up there. Come home and get home the same condition that you did, whether that's physical, spiritual, fucking mental. Yeah. If you got people bullying you like it's a fucking high school quadrangle, what the fuck is going on?
And it's because of I think, not to say that all educated people are smart, but I think it's a lot to do with the education level of some of the people that work in mining.
Probably.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because they employ someone from Woolworths and now they're driving a dump truck for $150,000 a year. Yeah. No other skill set, but that's their skill set. And they're so afraid to lose it. Like, they will dob you in to save their ass because if they lose it, well, they're back at Woolworths earning a third of that, you know, or a quarter of that, you know, and that's a good point. So I can see from their point of view, they're really trying to protect what they've got, but they don't realise by doing so, they're fucking up something that someone else has got. Like, because everyone else has got their own shit as well. Yeah, exactly. And I think it's, when you live in that mindset we're talking about and you don't push through or deal with your stuff, well, then you become that negative arsehole on the mind side. He doesn't care about anyone else, just themselves. Like, there's a point where you got to care about you. Like, you know what I mean? You got to look out for you, but not to the detriment of others. No. You know what I mean?
Like, no way in hell. That's why I don't like people like these online coaches and stuff that make people pay exorbitant amounts of money to give them very little, but then take away some livelihood that they have, like some comfort. Or I understand 100% that people do need to sometimes be financially. Not that I've had this instance myself. I've just seen it from other people. They take advantage of the financial abundance. Somewhat, not even abundance. Like, if you're trying to find out something about yourself or help yourself, like, there's online gurus, right? They will take a financial payment or like a chunk of, and sometimes it's not even financial. Sometimes it has to do with time. If you're on an hourly rate, right?
Yeah.
That's your finances are determined by how much life you're giving.
Yeah,
them,
that's right.
So when they take what they can and do whatever they have to do, and then don't give you they don't meet the satisfaction of everybody, let alone just one person, but they still hound for that thing. Yeah. And you're like, well, it's the same as working up north. It's like, I'm up here giving my time for a payment, and I'm not getting what I want because, hey, like you said, you would give me a nice type of life up here, as well as it shouldn't be a prison. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And a lot of these people that are online are doing the same thing to everyday people.
They call it the golden handcuffs.
Yeah.
I mean, you're stuck somewhere because you've got the handcuffs on you to earn that money. I've been in that situation where, like, I've been working for a company, and like, because I worked up north for 15, 17 years. Wow. You know, like, and I still supply to the drilling consumables and stuff to the mining, and I get, I've been offered GM roles and stuff before, and I've knocked them back because they're up on a mine site. I want to be home. Yeah, like I did my time. I got my education, and I used that to get myself back to Perth, so I could be with my wife, like be with my kids. You know, like, and now it's like, well, I don't really want to be up in that environment because in the military, it was one in, all in. So if you fucked with one of us, you fucked with all of us. Yes. That was the way it was. So when I was a cook, I was a cook in the Navy, and if someone, like, you're a part of our team, and I didn't even like you, but you're a part of my team, if someone fucked with you, whether I liked you or not, well, they fucked with me. Yeah. Because you were on my team. Yeah. You know? So if you come to me with dramas, well, yep, no worries, we'll sort that person out. And usually it was, so we used to, when they come through the service line, they'll be like, oh, hey chef, can I have a steak, or can I have some lasagna, or fucking whatever? And you're like, yep, no worries, and you put it on their plate. When they're an asshole to any of the team, they come through and go, can I have a steak? Mate, we have fucking fuck steaks that I wouldn't eat, that are just overcooked.
All gristle, overcooked.
There you go, mate.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, well, can I have another one? No, man, everyone gets one steak. Move along. Like, and if they had an issue, I'd just be like, look at the PO cook and be like, you sort this guy out? Or, oh, do you want me to get the PO? You can have a fucking chat with him. Yeah. And they go, oh, no. Because the PO is part of our fucking team. Yeah, like, he protects us. That's his fucking job, you know? Yeah. So, oh, no, fucking they move along. Like, but you fuck with one of us, you fuck with all of us. Whereas then when I went up to the mines, it's like, the opposite. If you made a mistake on the mines and it was beside me, and they said to me, you need to write a report on the mistake that Jacob made, I'd be like, I didn't see it. You were there, weren't you? Yeah, but I was doing something else, I didn't see it. Right. I'm not going to get involved and get you in the shit, like with what I say. I'll just leave it and go, no, nothing to do with me. But then I've had guys that'll make a mistake and they're getting in trouble, and they'll go, oh yeah, but he's been doing it too. And I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. Like, why would you throw someone else under the bus? Yeah. Like, to try and protect yourself. Like, I'm sorry, you make a mistake, you put your hand up and say, I fucked up. Yeah. That's it. And people respect that way more.
The collaboration of different people at different stages of their lives, though, matters as well. Because you do get, like, the kids that are, like, just out of high school, they got a job up north, whether it be an apprenticeship, they want to save that because that's an abundance of money, right? Yeah. But then you've got the old guy that's like, you know, I've been at this for so long that, like, even if I do get let go right now, it doesn't even fucking matter. Yeah. So he's just fucking with everyone. Yeah. You know, like,
yeah, you do. You get that.
You get a lot of differences. Yeah. Back to the music.
Yeah, yeah.
So how much of your time up north, talk to me on like a pie chart, how much has gotten you to start music now?
It's funny, like, I've been playing since I was 15. So I played guitar the whole time I was in the Navy. Like, I had spaces where I'd put it down for like a year or two at a time because I was at sea or I was working. Like, I didn't pick it up. Mm-hmm. But so when I was younger, I wanted to learn the guitar, but I wanted to play songs. Like, I don't want to go dun 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 dun. I didn't want to do scales and shit that didn't fucking interest me. And the first time Mum got me a music teacher, I think I was 14 maybe, whatever year 9 is. Like, and she said, I've got your music
when
teacher.
you were like
can
110 kilos.
No, I was like, I would have been probably 65 kilos ringing wet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When I joined the Navy, I was probably 80, or when I met my wife, I was about 85 kilos ringing wet.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got pictures of me like I like to say I look like the dog from The Mask. Like I had the fucking big head and the skinny body, you know, like that's what it looked like. Yeah, like my head was too big for my body, you know, because I was still 6'1", you know. So I was like, oh fuck. And then I wanted to play rugby when I was in the Navy, so I was like, because I have Mons Cup, and I'd never played rugby. I grew up playing Aussie rules. I played to the state level Aussie rules, and I was like, I want to play rugby, so I want to put some size on. So I went to the gym and asked the PT for a program to follow, and he went, how often do you come to the gym? And because he was a Navy PT, and I was like, I don't come much at all. And he goes, how about for the next month or two, you come at least 4 or 5 days a week and sign in, and if I can see that you've committed at least that, then I'll write your program.
Oh, wow.
So I went, okay, no worries. So instead of just writing me a program for nothing and then me not following it, he forced me to get into the gym. So I got into the gym, and then he wrote me a program, and I started following that, and I put on size. Like I went from sort of 85 ringing wet to like 94 sort of
Quickly.
muscly, like pretty fucking quick. Like I remember when I went to sea, I came back, I was at sea for like 3 to 6 months, and I came back and they flew my now wife over to WA to meet me, and when I come off the ship, I was probably 95 kilos, but I was jacked, and she was like, "What the fuck?" like, because all I did on the ship was work, train, eat, sleep. That's all I did, like for months. Yeah, you know. So
that's the perfect way to do it, too, if you're gonna do it.
Yeah. You know? So when I came back, I was fucking yoked, you know, like, and I'm not as big as I am now, but for where I was like a completely different guy. And, shit. And then I sort of, from that, I just went, oh, well, I want to, we moved to, when I got out, we moved over to WA, and we wanted to get to know people. We didn't know anyone. So I took up rugby league, and it came from like, when I was in Sydney, we watched rugby league, and my wife's from North Queensland, so up in Bowen. So she's a rugby league person. So when we moved to WA, I was like, I'm going to play footy, and she's like, I'm not coming to watch you play Aussie rules. And we were at the house one day, and we were at a rental, and this dad and his son, the Clarks, Chris Senior and Chris Junior, came over, and they were doing the paneling, and we had Fox so that we could, because you couldn't watch league over here back then.
Fox Live, right?
Yeah. And they were like, oh, you got Fox? And I'm like, yeah, so we can watch the league. And they were like, oh, you like league? And I'm like, yeah. And then I was talking about playing footy, and they were like a big part of the Rockingham Rugby League Club. And they were like, fuck, come and play. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went and joined, and I played for them for like 4 years. I played A grade. I started in reserve grade as a winger, and I think my first game, the second rower came running out, and I smoked him at the wing. Like I fucking drove him into the ground, and they were like, the runner come out and was like, fucking move to the centre, second row, and they pushed me in, and next thing you know, I was second row, front row for the whole time I was there.
That's insane.
Yeah, but it was just because, like, and that's when I started putting on size, and I got injured and thought, like, I popped my AC joint and couldn't get up and down anymore, so I spent a lot of time in the gym rebuilding that. And then started playing Aussie rules because it was a lot less impactful on the shoulders.
Of course.
Yeah, and I played
a lot less CTE as well.
Yeah, I played A grade for Rockingham Rams for about 6 months because I used to play Aussie rules growing up, you know, but I was off the bench. And I've never been a bench player. Like my whole life, I'm a starting player. So it was really weird playing off the bench. And because I was working away, I was coming home and then playing off the bench. And I was like, I'm not enjoying this. I think I'm going to go. And the coach was like, no, fucking don't go. Play reserve grade. So I went and played reserve grade. And I was starting reserve grade. I was kicking goals from centre half back and shit. Like I was fucking having a ball, you know. And then just got to the point where I was working away so much that I wasn't really a part of the team, and I didn't want to, like, they were doing all right, I didn't want to ruin that for them, so I sort of just pulled away. And then I took up judo, did that for 4 years and whatever.
So you've done discipline all the way through.
Yeah, that's just been, like, for me, I have to have something that
focused
to push towards.
Okay.
And in the latest years, like, it's been powerlifting.
Yeah.
And if I'd found that earlier in life, I might have been like even better than I am now. You know, but I'm up there, and I think it's that discipline. And my dad was very disciplined. My dad's a fucking hard worker, you know, like very disciplined. So I got that from my working side of it. Like I become a good worker because of him, but that work went over into everything. You know what I mean? That work ethic went into everything. So everything I did, I just did 110. You know, like I tried to do the bit extra that everyone else wasn't doing. Like when I played league, I would rock up half an hour before training started and I'd run laps before training.
It's the best way to get ahead.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I like even when I was unfit, I'd go back and I'd do that. And 2 games in the season, I'd be one of the fittest guys there. Yeah, and that's because I knew that would work. Like so, I just found ways to push myself to be better. And that's why I played A grade in my second year. You know, I was on contract for my second year. Like, and it was because I would just push.
If you want to get better, it's the best way to do it. Like when I was state swimming, I would get like my mum would take me every day to go to the pool and just fucking do like run laps. Even if we didn't have practice, she would be like, "You've still got to do laps." She was a hard ass. She still is a hard ass. Love you, mum. But like. She would just sit there and watch me for like 2 hours at a time, just fucking freestyle laps, just again and again and again and again. And I was like 12 years old, so this like instilled a lot of discipline into me. Yeah. And I was like, well, it takes every day to get better. You can't just practice on the days.
Well, Dorian Yates talks about putting a brick in the wall. Yeah. The days you're not putting the work in, is the day someone else is putting a brick in the wall. You're not. Yeah. You know, like, and that's when they catch up to
that
you.
Motherfucker had a lot of bricks too.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
It was the wall.
Yeah,
man.
He was built like a brick shit house. Yeah,
he's remarkably spiritual now.
Yeah, he does yoga. He does all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And
that comes from breath, right?
Yeah.
The Greek translation of old ancient Greek translation of spirituality is to be in breath.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, which is fucking like. A lot of people are like, oh, airy, fairy, spiritual. But I think it's a lot to do with like how we meditate and how we like contemplate and have like that visceral reaction to our central nervous system calming. And it's not a visceral reaction; it's like a tangible reaction.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because like I did that meditation, all that for years and years, and then
when did you start?
4 or 5 years ago, when I really had some tough times.
Right.
Like, so when I was
after you've had like the complete like disciplinary lifestyle for fucking 20 something years, you're like, oh, this is enough. I need to calm it.
Yeah, my body was just started. I started just doing shit that was out of character for me, that didn't align with my own integrity. You know what I mean? Like I was living out of integrity. I was doing shit, and I was like, what the fuck would I do that? Like, you know what I mean? And then feeling bad about it afterwards because. Well, I shouldn't have been fucking doing that, you know. Like, and then I went, why am I like this? Why is this happening? And I just started speaking to people. You know, I got through DVA, I was able to get a psychologist that I'll be able to go and speak to, and just open up.
What's DVA?
Defence Veterans Association.
Ah, that's cool. That's cool.
So they
glad they help.
They cover all your mental health stuff. So I was able to go and speak to someone and fucking work through that. And then from that, so what happens is you get people like Wim Hof, right? And he's like way up this end, this extreme, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and then you get people who don't do any work on themselves. They're just 2 sides of the same fucking pencil. You know what I mean? Like it's the same.
I think the expression's coin.
Coin, that's it. Yeah, 2 ends of the same pencil.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I knew what I meant, but but what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to that extreme, learn all that I need to do, and then come back to the middle and find my sweet spot. Yeah, and that's what I think I've done. You know, like, and I still do breath work. I still do ice baths. I still do men's group. I still continually work on myself, but it's. Now I've got all these fucking tools, and music has been my major one. Like,
why now?
It's just become a singular focus for me. Like, it's like meditation. I can pick a guitar up, and if you ever watch any of the songs I've put up, like covers or whatever, I rock when I play. Like
not like I want to rock.
No. I mean, like I stim, like I rock back and forth, or when I'm really into a song, my eyes aren't even fucking open, man. Like, and I find that
that's a good sign.
Yeah,
that, right?
and that's what I mean. Like I find that flow with the music, and I just become sort of like I learned so many songs so quickly that I run it off like ultimate guitar. So I'm reading the lyrics and the chords and playing and singing at the same time and focusing on my breathing. But it all just becomes one thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't even look at it as if I'm reading and now I'm singing. I'm looking at the notes while I'm reading. Like my eyes are like picking up the note above the words or the chord above the words, and I'm just hitting the next chord as I'm singing and reading the fucking lyrics. And then you just become one with it, and it's like this one singular focus, because that's what meditation is. It's some people breathe, some people go om. Like,
it's a flow state.
Yeah, it's that one. It's a singular focus. It takes. When I'm playing, I don't think about my bills. I don't think about life. When I'm in the gym and training, I don't think about bills. I don't think about life. I'm just thinking on what's the next thing I got to lift? What's the next chord I got to play? What's the next thing I got to do in that moment? So you become present, and that's what it's all about. Like, and that's music is sort of. It was Jelly Roll. He at 39 won newest artist of the year.
Crazy.
Which is just insane.
And he's the oldest person to ever win that.
Yeah, and his speech was, if a 39-year-old ex-con can do this, any fucker can do it. Like, it's never too late to start. Yeah. And I went, fuck, I've got some songs that I've been writing for years.
Never, ever too old to start.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck it, yeah. So it sort of inspired me to start, like, think about putting my own music out. And then the first song we did, Frustration, I wrote that when I was 19, sitting on a beach at Christmas Island, in the Navy. Like, and it was around the time that I'd made the decision that after my 4 years I was out, because you remember all the good stuff when you're in, the times with the boys when you're partying and having fun overseas and all these things. Yeah, but when you sit back and actually think about it, it's all the bullshit that you have to put up with, like all the yes sir, no sirs, the fucking doing as you're told even when you know it's fucking wrong.
Talking about tracks,
yeah.
Should we listen to yours? Or can we listen to yours?
Yeah, let's do it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You want to drop it on the Roadshow?
Yeah, fucking oath.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, because up until the 28th, this will be the only place that they can hear it.
Living conscious, learning to open, sharing, growing, just start talking. Pain I carried was always hidden, deep diving, emotions forbidden. my heart breathe the fear when it calls. Strength, vulnerability, truth in hand. Redefine what it means to be a man. Breaking silence, tearing down walls. Let my heart breathe the fear when it calls. Strength, vulnerability, truth in hand. Redefine what it means to be a man. My own man.
Perfect.
Tight.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome, right?
Yeah, no, fucking, it's something that like we've talked about a lot. It's like fucking how it came together, like just floating. Like
It was
just,
rocky as shit, dude. It was so good.
like, and just like the collaborative process of like going from what was just raw acoustic and me singing to what it ended up is fucking
And
brilliant.
recorded on your guitar that you bought from your trip in Bali, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
insane. Yeah, and it's a great sounding guitar. That's
Yeah.
why, like, when you play a guitar and you're a singer
Yeah,
and you have your sound, you know the sound in your head, whether it registers tonally. I like to use people's instruments that they like practice on.
Yeah.
because then you know, oh, this is what it could sound like in the end, right?
yeah. Like, well, let's say I got to play that live. We
You
want
have
it to
to
fucking sound like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like we want it to sound like that. And I love that it's like because we would like the 3 vocal takes, and it was just that full third vocal take, and we're just like, that's it. Mm-hmm. You know, whereas. Because we always tend to play it safe in that first vocal take.
Yeah,
you know,
everyone does, man.
Just to try and get a really nice, even sound across it. And then it's like, all right, now let's lean into it. All right, let's lean into it a bit more. Like, and
Even literally all like even the best, most experienced artists that I've had recording sessions with, they will take 2 to 3 takes, 4 to 5 takes, and then like, actually now I'm warm, I'm comfortable, I know that there's no danger around, I'm
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
and they hit it. And that's what I always preach is, if you're going to do a recording, don't make it your first one that you put out. Always do a bunch. Like when we did Frustration, we did 3 takes of each line.
yeah,
And then we went through and we chose the lines that were most pronounced, the most like tonally correct for the song.
Yeah.
And then once that's all chosen, you put it on one mixing line,
Yeah.
and then you run through with Melodyne and you do your tuning.
Yeah.
And then once your tuning's done, then you focus on your compressions and your EQs and stuff like that. And then that'll bring that out eventually. And then down the mixing process, then you're going to have a way more correct track than if you focus so intently on getting it right the first time, and then like you're so focused, you know, that when you focus so hard that you're like, oh, I missed that one thing, and then that's not okay with you, but you never record it again.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, I'll just live with it, and that, but it'll always be in you that if you tried, it's like Ronnie Coleman when he did the 800-pound squat.
Yeah.
He always hates that he didn't do 2 more.
yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same with fucking recording tracks.
100%.
Always do 2 more, because you can always, like, if you're an artist and you're recording at home, if you take it to a mixing, like a professional, they will go, okay, this is what I'm working with. What about this mistake here? And you're like, oh no, we'll just leave it as is. No, you want to come in with multiple tracks and be like,
yeah.
this is what I also have got.
Yeah.
Can you use the get to, or
Yeah.
from here?
Or even you can like let's say you do that one recording, or you do 3 recordings, but in your first recording, let's say the bridge isn't sharp. Well, that's okay, because in recording 2 or 3, well, that bridge was fucking sharp as shit. We're going to slot that in there.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you've got a track that just hits all the key points across. Because even when like I record for like raw for socials, like covers and stuff, I generally press record, I play that fucker front to back, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Like, and if I do stuff it up like somewhere along the lines, well, I'll just record the whole fucking thing again.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and
you don't want to have to do that though,
No.
right? You're like, if you're so focused on that one time, like perfectionism's a fucker, dude.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, it's not perfect, but you had a good first verse.
yeah.
Well, that good first verse might be the first verse that goes into the track. Maybe focus, like, do it again, but make it lead into a really great chorus or a really great bridge, right? Same with guitar. You played guitar on that track twice, and there was, I think, 3 times that I changed out the slide that you had, going from your low E's and then brought it up to like your C range and then like slid back down. There was like bink, like a bink, like kind of like just string noise, and I was like, oh, I like the slide from here, let's utilize that. And then I brought that in,
so then it's the same slide, clean slide all the way
clean
through.
slide. And even if people don't know about this, you can use harmonic tuning in Melodyne. Melodyne's a vocal tuner, primarily used for vocal tuning, but you can tune other instruments with it as well. So when you like hit a D chord on a guitar, if you have a little bit of like an E string because you didn't palm mute correctly, or you didn't mute that, or you just hit it with your pick, your plectrum. Is that it? You can take that chord, run it through Melodyne, and you can either get rid of that E tonally, you can like cancel it out, or you can add a lower D to that chord range. You can just change it to like a D instead of an E, and then it just sounds like a way more full chord. You've got another D string in there. You're like, whoa, what the fuck is that? So there's like little tips and tricks that you can use certain plugins for, and obviously this is talking to the artist, and it's a little bit out of your range, but you're starting to record at home. You notice parametric EQ, that Shaper app. It's not an app, it's a plugin. It's the same thing. If you can get your stuff tonally correct before you bring it to an artist, a recording. I'm an artist in a way, but I record you. Producer. Well, I don't like that word because I'm not producing shit. You're the producer, and I just make it work, right? It's weird. But yeah, if you take it into a recording studio, the guy there, if he's not experimenting, I don't trust it. I don't like guys that are locked into their ways. There's a recording studio down here on Abbotsford Road, like Abbey Street. His name's Sheldon at Levels. He's like probably the best in Australia, or probably the Southern Hemisphere. He does all of Adrian Zuke's work. He does old Corey Holland work. He does Wesley Black stuff. Insane dude. He's done stuff for Julia Stone from Angus and Julia Stone. Like the fucking insanely good guy. And I was his kind of protege, and I just like hung around for a couple of years, and he showed me how to do everything. And he runs Logic. He runs Logic is the platform. It's the Apple platform, and there's like automatic side chains and all these bus fucking complications. And I was like, why don't you use FL? And he's like, it's too much. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, it's just too complicated. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to learn that shit then. And that's why I use FL Studio. FL Studio used to be Fruity Loops. You know Fruity Loops back in the day, the just shit app. Well, it was bought out by ImageLine, and then when they bought it out, they were like, well, we're gonna make this the premier thing. And when it became FL Studio, I think it was at FL9, it was fucking epic. Now it's at FL24 or some shit, and it's fucking insane. But the differences in like what you can do with recording someone and then making them sound like they're in a full band is just insane these days. Like with the help of like Splice and like those sampling apps, man, you can get like live sounds recorded in like Tennessee and like Texas and Nashville and all that stuff.
I had someone say to me, a friend that has heard the song, and go, sounds very American. And I was like,
I'd probably say about 80% of it is.
And I'm like, but it's like, I wouldn't say it's American. I would just say it's country rock, which is where most of that shit comes from. You know what I mean?
You'd be amazed at how many people from like California put on a Texas accent. And people from like, I interviewed 360, the rapper, and he was like, the people that don't sound like Australians in Australia are neutral. They're not putting on an American accent. They just haven't given into like the whole fucking hey gan fucking ochre shit, right? Yeah. People that are in like Sydney Centre, if you took them from Sydney and you dropped them in California, it's not too dissimilar.
Yeah, right.
It's quite,
because when I was in the Navy, I lived in Sydney for 4 years. You know, like, but
where were you?
Like Woolloomooloo, like up near King's Cross.
Yeah. I stayed in Surrey there for a while.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because when
Surrey Hills,
when Liane got out before I did, my wife, we went to.
She was in the Navy too.
Yeah, so we moved to Cronulla or Caringbah, which is just up from Cronulla, because it was cheaper to fucking live there.
Of course, obviously, yeah.
So we had a place there, you know, for a long time. But like, I think a lot of the music I listen to, like I've started listening to a lot more country and blues, like just because that's the sound that suits me, you know, like, but I've grown up on, like, I've got Punk's Not Dead tattooed on my leg. Like, I grew up with like a mate, one of my good mates in the Navy, 40, him and I were just punk, man. Like, we just listened to punk, ska, like all that sort of stuff, like growing up. So like I've got the rock background, but my voice is not a very punk voice. Like it's too deep to be a punk voice.
Yeah.
Like a lot of punk voices are a lot higher pitched, a lot rougher.
But you have a smooth tone for singing, like the Frustration song that you did. That was a very, like, and you've got the acoustic coming out.
Yeah.
And that is, I listened to it last night, and for the people that haven't heard it yet, it is, I don't know why, but I think I like the acoustic more than the original, because of how smooth it is. It's just like so tonally correct to everything else that's within the song. Yeah. And it's kind of like you're dropping off the rock drums and the, you know, like the beat to it, and you're kind of just following it with the rhythm of the music. Yeah. And it kind of draws you in a little bit more to your singing and your lyrics and your tones and all that stuff. So,
because whenever I write, it's a story. Like I grew up, my dad's big into poetry. Like, so we grew up with him reciting poetry and stuff, you know, like Clamp the Mighty Limpet.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like stuff like that. Like, because we lived on an island where there was fucking limpets on the rocks and abalone and stuff, and went diving. So that was like
worth a lot of money now.
Yeah. Like, and then they had Hist Hark, you know, like all those sort of, like just poetry. Like, and when I was in grade...
You ever read any Tolstoy?
No.
Oh, dude, no. Get into it.
Yeah. Because like I wrote when I was in grade 3, I think it was. So I was in a country town, so there's like 300 kids in the school, and our class was 3 and 5. Mm-hmm. So we had year 3 kids and year 5 kids in the same class. Right. And but they were doing, because it was down on Flinders Island, middle of Bass Straits, where I grew up. Okay. And so there was a poetry contest in Tassie through all the schools, where all the schools put their poetry in, and they all competed to win this poetry thing. And
hold on, where's Flinders Island again?
Middle of Bass Strait. So it's sort
Isn't it Bass Strait where the Mariana Trench is?
I don't know about that. I just know Bass Strait's where the Roaring Forties come through. It's sort of like in between Victoria and Tassie.
Yeah, that's where the Mariana Trench is. Yeah. That's the deepest part of the ocean.
So you've got
which is scary as fuck. Sorry,
it is a amazing place to grow up. Mm-hmm. Like it was when I was growing up. There was about 800 people in the whole place. There was about 300 kids at school max at the heaviest time. Like,
tiny.
When I wrote my poem, that teacher didn't really like me. I was a bit like, because I was a shithead. Like school bored me. Mm-hmm. So like I passed everything with flying colours, but it was just boring. Yeah. Like I just didn't enjoy it. So when I was bored, I just messed around. You know, like so I was in trouble all the time. So she wasn't a big fan of mine, and we wrote our poems, but I wrote mine. I was sitting at home and I had to write a poem, and I was in grade 3, so I wasn't very old, and I was sitting in front of the fire at home, and I was saying to Dad, I've got to write some poems, and he's like, oh, well, about something in the house, and he's like, well, why don't you write about like the fire? So the poem we wrote was fire in the fireplace, a carpet of ash and coals, little folks dancing a race in red, yellow and gold. Like that's what we wrote. Oh, wow. And that went up on the wall with everyone else, and she had to pick 3 or 5 to go into this competition, and mine was the last one she picked. It was good, but she was reluctant to pick it because it was me. You know, like she picked it and sent it through, and I won the whole fucking thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So poetry has always been something that my dad has instilled in me, like because he was a big component of Australiana poetry and stuff like that. So it was just something that was a part of me growing up. So I've always written poetry, and then I've just sort of lent into that as writing music. So I write my music very similar into the way I write poetry. So it's like 4 lines, every second line sort of rhymes with the first sort of thing. Like, and it's just only thing I've had to learn is bridges and choruses and structure and stuff like that. And that later. But that's taken time.
Yeah,
like
it will.
But then you listen to songs like Dad asked me to learn a song called "A Boy Named Sue."
Johnny Cash.
Yeah, and there's no choruses in that.
No,
it's just And a lot of his songs are just verse. There's no hook. There's no chorus. It's just song. You know? And I haven't written any like that yet. But
I don't like them too much.
They're not. It's hard to like if you want it to be popular.
I love A Boy Named Sue. Sorry, I should probably
that's a good song.
But it's when there's something to structure within music. Yeah. And granted, like the Beatles, like they came up with a bunch of different structures that were like tonally correct, probably musically sounded genius as they are, but they lack something. And it was, I don't know if it's the whole hook TikTok culture, but like they wouldn't be on TikTok now. You know, like there would be a couple of their songs that would, but majority of them they just don't have that hook that people are looking for now. Because I've listened to songs that have popped up on TikTok that people are doing videos to, and I'm like, what's this whole song? And I listen to the whole song and I'm like, if it wasn't for that chorus or it wasn't for that hook. That's a problem though, because there was a guy that
the song's fucking average.
He did a fucking show. No, it was Billie Eilish did a show and brought him out. It was that black top long t-shirt, Billie Eilish. And she brought him out, and everyone was like, they knew that like the first 12 words of his song, and like it was like the intro into like something cool that happened on TikTok, you know, like a car featured and all that stuff. But then after it, the crowd went dead silent, and he kept singing. Nobody knew the lyrics because that's all they heard on TikTok. Yeah, they never heard the whole song. It's like, whoa. But then you have like songs that have blown up from TikTok, and you're like, the whole song's known because of like,
that Rich Man North of Richmond.
Amazing.
You know what I mean? Like that whole song lyrically is brilliant. You know what I mean?
Amazing. And Scornful Woman after that, dude, you can't get better.
No, and he just. But I heard that first on TikTok. So you get the occasional one that you hear and you're like, oh, this is actually real. The whole song's good. Like you can listen to any part of it, but so often it's just a hook that's good, and people use the shit out of that, and then the song gets all these views, but people aren't listening to the whole song because once it gets out of that hook, they're like, oh, I don't like this. Like this, you know, Josh Pike.
No,
he's an Aussie musician. So we went and saw them play the White album.
Okay, and
it was Chris Chaney from Living End, Josh Pike.
Was he on Grinspoon?
Chris, no, he's just I think he does his own thing. Yeah.
Okay, right. I haven't heard
and then had Phil from Grinspoon.
Oh, hectic.
And then they had who's the lead singer of You Am I? Chris something. I apologise to people who like You Am I just can't.
I don't even know
his name's anyway. He's because he's obscure. He would do all the obscure songs. Chris Pike would do all the like Blackbirds.
Yeah.
Mate, I listened to that guy, or Chris Pike, I think it's Pike, but he played Blackbirds, and he had a Clark Cole, he played Blackbirds, and man, it was fucking beautiful.
Really?
Like, he was such an amazing singer. The guitar was just beautiful. Like he fucking nailed that shit. And then on the drive home, I looked up some of his music, and it's really lyrically heavy, and I can't really listen to it. It's good music, but it just
some people do their own stuff terribly,
it's way too heavy, you know what I mean? Like it's like a rap song, but he's singing it, so there's just lyrically heavy. Like, so his verses would be like double the volume or triple the volume of one of my verses, you know, like it's just, I don't know, that's just how he writes, you know, like, and he's a great singer and great guitarist, like he's a great musician, but his music just doesn't sit with me. And you know, sometimes like
That's fine.
But when I heard him play Blackbirds, I was just like blown away.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like,
Yeah, there's some artists that are meant to be cover artists.
yeah.
I'm not saying anything bad about that artist, like Chris
No,
Clark or whatever
yeah,
his
yeah.
name is. But there's just some people that do a different style better.
Yeah.
And I know, like that Renton guy,
Yeah, yeah.
like I can't fault him at all. But if I was gonna like say, hey, if he had one like genre that he could stick with forever, I'd be like, don't do rap.
Yeah.
Even though it's one of your strong suits and it makes what it is, but maybe stick to theatre because you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's just intense.
Because growing up, like, you know, Ed Sheeran's got this video of him when he was 13 singing, and it's horrible. And
Yeah,
he carries it around on his phone to show
yeah,
people.
yeah.
That was me, man. Like, I would try and sing songs like they were written. I'm not John McCartney. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like Paul McCartney, sorry. Like, I'm not
John McCartney.
John McCartney. It's his brother. Yeah, or his dad. No, I just, like,
his neighbour.
Yeah, his neighbour. Just happen to have the same last name. But
They're English.
yeah. But, like, it wasn't until I got older when I realised I've got to sing like me. And Lion actually got me a couple of, like, singing lessons. You know, I'd never done them before because I always had trouble singing in my head voice. Always had trouble singing in my head voice. It's just because my voice is deep.
Falsetto.
It comes from here. So being able to sing up here was really hard.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You ever watched The Nanny when you were a kid?" And,
Fran Fine.
Yeah, and she talked like this.
Yeah.
And she goes, when you talk like that, you've got to screw your face up and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's how you sing in your head. You're pushing everything up into the roof of your mouth, your nose, sort of thing. And I'm like, and as soon as I did that, well, I stopped having any issues with my throat or like that sort of thing. Like every now and then, if I go too raspy or something, then I'll get that tickle in the back of my throat, and it'll be because I've leaned into something way too much, and it'll be always halfway through a song, and I'm like, oh, and I spend the whole song fighting off a cough.
Yeah. Because I used to be a little backstory in school. I was the lead singer of the school band,
The lukewarm Capsicums.
Fuck off. We were called the Edens. It was cool, all right. Because there's a great saying that I live by, and it's never let your schooling get in the way of your education.
Yeah.
And because I was like deep into like Michael Jackson, like all these superstars when I was younger, like way younger, before high school and Eminem came out, and I was kind of like fuck you, like let the creativity be creativity. I know I didn't physically have this thought. I didn't mentally have the thought, but now that I look back, I'm like, wow, you guys fucked it, because I was trying to portray what I was, and that was this guy behind me. Sorry, Jake Graham. But in year 7 for auditions, I didn't have a song to sing, and I was like, what are you going to sing? And he goes, that song by I'll fly to the moon and back if you be Savage Garden.
Yeah, that's
and he was like, I'm singing that song, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm before you in the line. And I went in and I did that song, and I got the lead singer role. So, and he hated me after that. Like, all through high school, he never talked to me. Sorry, dude. Like, that sucked. But it's a pretty punk rock thing to do.
Yeah.
And I played up. I was a little shit in school, and I was just being me, right?
Yeah.
And that didn't fucking jive with the teachers too well.
Yep.
And they kicked me out of the band. And I was like, okay, done. In high school, I started my own fucking band, right? And then we started playing shows, and then it developed into me being a metalhead because of my fucking friend group. My stomach is rumbling like crazy. I'm thinking
is that where you learnt the
growling?
Yeah.
So then I learned how to harness raspiness.
Yeah.
And I could sing falsetto raspy.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Which was insane. And then I could do the dual chord, and I'm not going to do it here because it's loud as shit and there's neighbours.
Yeah.
But I would sing and scream at the same time, so it sounded like two people.
Yeah, that's cool.
But because when you're screaming, you're growling, you're tensing your throat, and it's really low.
Yeah.
And it's not chords; it's your throat clapping together gives it the gurgle.
Yeah.
So you can hold a note at the same time, and that's what I was known for.
Yeah.
I was doing these insane scream tone, pardon me, driven things. Tastes like fucking lion's mane mushroom. What the fuck?
Nice.
Not good. Haven't eaten. That's when I realized I could drop this back and sing with a really raspy voice.
Yeah.
And when after because my voice was dropping while all this was happening, and then when my voice properly came in, I was like, wow, I'm way lower than I thought I would be at this age.
Yeah.
Because I heard my dad talk, and I heard all these other men in my life talk, and I was like, I'm lower than all these guys. What's going on here? What the fuck is this about? And I think it was maybe the stress that I put on my chords to learn those ways of singing and growling, that my voice kind of was like, we're going to stay down here safe. Because if he's going to drop us real low, we kind of want to be able to capture that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's an evolution thing. But
Look, because I'd have the deepest voice in my family. You know, and it's not but my dad's got a deep voice. Yeah. You know what I mean? He can sing. Yeah. He doesn't think he can. My mum always talks about how he can sing. But
isn't it the fucking weirdest thing ever that when a woman gets on testosterone, her voice gets lower?
Yeah.
That's weird? Yeah. That is weird.
Yeah, it's virilization, I think they call it, virilization.
Right.
It's the effect of testosterone on a woman's body.
Virility, yeah.
It's generally their forehead, their hairline can recede.
There's this
they get
one
that deep
lady
voice
that's bodybuilding, and I think her name's Anne, but I see her on Instagram all the time. She looks like a dude, right? That's standard, because she's bigger than
jacked,
fucking huge, way bigger than me.
Yeah.
And you scroll all the way back on her Instagram, she is the prettiest young, cute little thing ever. She's maybe fucking, I dare say 55 kilos. Yeah, right. Just cute, petite, like this in the fucking mirror. And now she looks like a fucking monster.
I think what happens, what I've noticed is people will, women, they will start taking, say, Anavar or something to help
dryness.
To even with their help strength, you know, in powerlifting like that. And they'll do it for a really short period, and then they don't have any virilization effects, but they get a lot stronger. So let's say they do it for 3 weeks. They get a lot more
hormonal too.
So they do it for 3 weeks, and they get stronger, and they get a good result at the competition, and they're like, oh, well, next time I'm going to do it for 5 weeks. And the next time I'm going to double the dose. And next thing it's just slowly builds. And I think if you're in a committed relationship, my wife decided she was going to get yoked tomorrow, I'd be like, yeah, righto, whatever. You know what I mean? Do whatever. But we've been married
with the 3 vials of trend.
Yeah, we've been married forever. She can do whatever the fuck she wants.
The problem with that is they can't go backwards. You can never take it back.
You can to a point.
Yeah, but if you get to the point where this Anne lady, she's fucking got a more chiseled jawline than fucking Harry.
Oh no,
Henry
that'll never go.
That'll never go.
No,
she'll look like that for the rest of her life. There was a Hitomi Kati. No, it's not. There's a guy. He's a Japanese bodybuilder, and he's dating.
Hidetada Yamagishi.
Yeah, Hidetada Yamagishi, and his wife. What's her name? She looks like a dude, and she's 8-time
Miss Olympia.
Miss Olympia. Yeah. That couple together, that makes sense, right? Because they're both yoked as
well,
fuck.
he never used to. He was married to a little Japanese lady when it first.
I know, but they met at Olympia.
Yeah,
and he was like, "This is my dream woman." Okay, dude.
It's Iris Kyle.
Iris, yeah.
But she is a lovely lady.
She's awesome.
But
she's amazing.
Is fucking yoked, dude.
Yeah.
And her face is hard all the time.
Yeah.
Because she's always lean too. Yeah. And she's muscular, lean. Her face is always hard. So she has very masculine look. You know what I mean? That you would call a masculine look because she's hard in the face. She's quite muscular. She does a
masculine thing too, which is lifting.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a masculine sport.
And I think a lot of people, something I've noticed is when women do masculine sports, where it's around building a body or getting strong or whatever, they move a long way away from their feminine. You know what I mean? So because they're in a masculine world, you know, and they get caught up in that. And a lot of women become good friends in those sports because the only ones that are going to get each other because they're in a masculine sport and they're both doing
Regular
it.
people look at you like, ew.
Yeah.
But it's not if you're in it. It's fucking,
I don't
it's
think,
epic.
like, I will look at Iris Kyle and people are like, ugh, she looks like a dude. But I look at her and go, man, that
What
is
a
so much
body.
fucking hard work.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, I look at it and just think,
Think about the hours and the calories she's put in.
yeah,
Holy
like just,
fuck, dude.
she spent so long. She's, you know, but she's still a good person. Like, she's
That's
not
all
a
that
shitty
matters.
person, you know, like, and
End of the day, the fuck, she goes in the same coffin.
I had more issues when I was bodybuilding around the amateurs.
The ego?
Than I did with the amateurs or the pros.
Yeah.
You know, the top amateurs or the pros.
Yeah.
Like when I did Arnold's, I competed against like top amateurs from around the world. Such good dudes. You know what I mean? Like good guys, because they know they've done so much work to get to where they are and they're pushing for that top level. They know that everyone else that's there has done the same thing. Well, when you go to an amateur comp, everyone will look you up and down and, you know, like side eye, and they won't talk to you and stuff. Like, and it's, man, it doesn't, like, if you and I are at a backstage at a bodybuilding show and my delts are bigger than yours, it's not like you can look at me and go, well, I'm going to go and put bigger delts on.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking work like that, man.
Yeah.
You've rocked up. How you look is how you look.
Yeah.
And same
Enjoy the day.
at powerlifting, at the top comps when I'm competing at like Pro Raw and stuff like that, the guys are fucking awesome. So those who have been through the shit and made it out the end, whether it be they've had a hard life with drugs or their upbringing or
I love
whatever
that
it is,
story, by the way.
or whether it's fucking sport, when they come out the other side, they're such good fucking people because they've been in the shit. Like when and that's why I think a lot of military people, we all get along with each other. Like I meet guys that are Vietnam vets and we can talk for hours, man, because like I don't get exactly what they've gone through and they don't get exactly what I've gone through, but we have like a mutual understanding of what we signed up for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you just sort of get along. And it's the same with people who've had a hard life getting to where they are in bodybuilding or power. Like, because bodybuilding, to get at that top level, man, that's a lifetime of dedication.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's hard work. There are some people that just...
Like Phil Heath, he did it for 10 years before like getting Olympia, which is like, wow, that's insane.
Yeah, and that's like whole life encompassing that sport, you know. But
And I honestly, like wholeheartedly, I still feel like they're underpaid even at $1 million for like top right.
yeah, but you've got, it's still that 1%. Like, so even there's
they're so
professional
underpaid.
there's professional bodybuilders out there. Sam Pearce is an Australian bodybuilder, and he's phenomenal. His posing is phenomenal. Like Aaron Pilates, another Australian
What
bodybuilder.
about fucking take Josh Leonard-Whitewoods?
Yeah, like these guys are
He was in the Olympia, dude.
well, these guys were too. Sam hasn't been there yet, but he's like, every time I see his videos come up, he's getting bigger and stuff, and he's educating people. And then, but what's the name competed at the Olympia, and he's won pro shows. Aaron Pilates, but they don't get paid fuck all for that, man. So they're still basically, it's still a hobby. You know what I mean? Like, and when you're at that level, man, they should be getting money. Like, and this is the thing, a lot of those comps, even powerlifting comps, where, like, so I'm going over to Big Dogs this year to compete with like some of the best in the world.
Is that Australian strongman?
No, it's powerlifting. So, and it's Marcos, he owns GPC Australia, but he runs Pro Raw, and Pro Raw has a competition called Big Dogs, where it doesn't matter what you weigh, it's what weight is on the bar. So there's no points or anything. It's just whoever has the biggest total at the end, biggest lifts at the end, well, they fucking win. But they've had years where the prize money's been like 50 grand for first, 20 grand for second, 10 grand, and it goes down to like 8th place, which it fucking should, because these guys, like,
it should be like golf.
yeah, because like, I wish it was like golf, man. Like, I wouldn't be working if it was like golf. I'd just be powerlifting,
Yeah,
you know,
of
like,
course, of course.
because the money they make, like, they come.
But
Like,
I
you've
mean,
seen-
like the pay structure.
That's
there
what
should
I
be
mean.
a total,
That's what I
and
mean,
it should like
filter down.
Yeah, filter down.
And that's something that they did at the Olympia, because the top guys used to get 200 grand, and then after 5th place they get nothing.
It's terrible.
You
It's
know,
disgusting.
But they're still up there on that stage with the best in the fucking world.
Paid for their stack, paid for their meals, paid for their time, paid for their gym membership.
travel,
If
like-
some guys get sponsorship, but most of the guys that are really, really committed, like I tried to sign one of my friends up, Ben Coleman. He's now a fucking insanely good Muay Thai fighter. He fights out of Riddlers, and he's been living in Thailand for the last 3 years. He's fucking insane, and I've had him on the podcast before. Shout out Ben. And when he was bodybuilding, he got so fucking jacked, dude, that he was squatting like 220 for like 15 reps. Yeah. Like and his legs were so juicy, dude. Like he had great separation. He had great fucking, like mature looking muscles. Like really, really muscle. Like his muscle bellies were so full, but he had like really short muscle bellies, even though he was tall. Which was like, it was pretty cool. And I tried to like, at the time, I wasn't trying to be his manager or anything like that. I was just like, this guy is he stands out in every gym. Let me try and see if I can get this guy's sponsorship. And I think I talked to Gymshark. I was talking to their like marketing manager, and he was like, "Oh, if they don't have 200,000 followers online, we can't sign anyone up." I was like, "Yeah, but he would win every competition that he's like jumped on." And they're like, "It doesn't matter. Yeah, he doesn't have a following. What?
Well, it's like some of those.
What the fuck are you talking about? You're not going to take this guy. You're not even give him a fucking bucket of protein. I know they're not obligated to, but if he was on their team against everyone else, his following would grow insurmountably, standing next to these other guys. But they just didn't want to put the limelight on him because he didn't bring anything to them. Which is like, what are you talking about? You guys are a fucking fitness company. You want to advertise and market fitness. Why not get the most fittest looking dude on your team? It just didn't make sense to me at the time.
And it's still like that. Like you get these guys that are just bodybuilders, but they've never competed, and they're just on social media and they've got a massive following. Well, now they're bringing all this money in. But they're not actually showing up, and they're not doing the hard yards. Like it's just like, don't get me wrong, to get the physique they've got to work hard, and some of the damage they do to their bodies is insane by trying to do that. Stupid. But for me, like sport's always been about longevity. Like I want to compete until I'm old. Like I still need something to work towards. You know, and music has given me something to work towards, and powerlifting gives me something to work towards. But it's just something that's separate from my life. You know, like something that.
How many old guys are in powerlifting?
Heaps.
Yeah,
heaps. And it's they usually compete on points.
Right.
So there's like a formula. It's usually gloss or dots or whatever. But it's on the weight lifted by their body weight and age.
Oh, okay.
And the older you are, obviously it's a more advantage from a point system. So like in Australia, Capo, I think the best master on points is, I think it's Terence Titus, right? And he's like 69. He's 69. He pulled 240 the other week. You know,
holy shit.
Strong dude. You know, like, but he's just a big farmer. He's slow moving, but he's strong as fuck.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
But then second or third place is someone like Ryan Williams, who he's my age. He might be a year older than me or something. But he was like, it was a 995 kilo total at like 125, and he's still less than this other guy. You know, like he's squatting close to 400. He's benching mid like 230 sort of thing. He's still deadlifting around that 370 mark, and he's not the top because he's so much younger that the points create that difference. So the masters generally go on points, and they love it, man. Like, and they push each other and they have that bit of banter. It's like masters lifting it's enjoyable, but it's not as fun to watch in regards to they're not lifting crazy shit, you know. Yeah. But it's enjoyable to watch because they just love the sport.
Are you ever going to do strongman?
I've been asked to do it. If I did it, because of my hips are pretty stuffed, I would have to do like static monsters or something like that, where it's just like overhead press, deadlifts, like the moving stuff like yokes, and that would really fuck my hips. You know what I mean? Like it would really be like.
Have you ever tried yoga?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did it help?
It made me sore.
Of course.
So it took away from my other shit.
Maybe try Bikram then, the sauna yoga, because that'll it'll heat up the muscle bellies and then allow for the stretches. Yeah. Sometimes there's a guy, Diamond Dallas Page, DDP. He brought out DDP yoga, and he doesn't do hot yoga, but it's like static holds with slight adjustments of functionality and dynamics, which is like, say if you get into a lunge and you're trying to like stretch out your hip flexor.
Yeah.
Well, he thinks to get low and twist and then kind of bounce into it a little bit. And as you're doing this for like holding that pose for, I don't know, 3 minutes, by the end of it, you should get a little lower. And if you do get a little lower, hold it for another 3.
Yeah.
And then just get comfortable with it.
So it's a balance as well with powerlifting, because you don't want to be too loose. Like, you don't want to be too flexible and hyperextension.
Be tight.
You've got to be tight. But so I do more activations and mobilizations than I do stretching.
Yeah.
Like, so you won't see me do static stretches or any of that sort of stuff, but you'll see me activating all the little muscle groups, all the stuff around my shoulders, like doing different like exercises. And
you're not one of those dudes that does this.
Oh fuck no.
I hate people that do that, man.
Like,
if I see you in the gym doing this, I'm telling you to stop, because that doesn't do anything.
It's more this one.
Yeah, it's this one. And if you can get on an angle,
well, that's different, because you've got downward pressure. Like, the muscles don't work on a horizontal plane like that.
Exactly.
Like, if you want pissy elbows, that's a good exercise.
Yeah, lay on your side on a bench. Yeah, that's what I tell people.
Or even with a cable. Like, if you grab a cable and do that with a cable, because it's constant tension, like pulling that way and that way, and not just going that way.
Yeah, your rotator cuffs don't work on a fucking
horizontal plane.
Horizontal plane. No. I try to tell people that all the time. Well, no, I can feel it. I'm like, yeah, because you're getting rear delt activation.
Yeah, like I would do, when I have my shoulder stuff, I would do what they call sword pulls, where I'd have a dumbbell at my hip, and I'd pull it up like that, and I'd use that to strengthen my rotator cuff and around my shoulder.
Yeah, okay.
But
it's the T-band, right? No, not T-band. That's your here. It's
so your rotator sort of connects to the back of the shoulder here.
Yeah, the posterior. What do they call that? The band that goes from here down to your ass.
I don't know.
Can't remember. It's something to do with throwing.
Yeah.
I learned it at Australian Institute of Fitness when I did my PT.
Yeah.
And if you can strengthen everything from one rotator cuff or rear delt, if you will, down to your opposing glute, then you're going to have a way stronger throw, which is like so reverse of what you think would normally.
Well, a lot of everything sort of works in a cross section in your body.
We're one unit.
Yeah,
we're one unit.
Yeah.
So like, I really don't like when doctors talk, like, because when I went in for all my surgeries, they're like, well, this part of you needs to be shut down. I'm like, I had Crohn's, ulcerative colitis. They could never tell me which one because they both don't exist, but whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, so we need to shut down your immune system. I'm like, hold on. My immune system accounts for most of the stuff that happens in my body. Why do you want to shut it down for this one thing? And they're like, well, because it's one system. And I'm like, no, it's not. You fuck.
Yeah.
I'm one body. It's not one fucking.
Yeah, like
it's one system as a whole. Just it's not one substrate of a system.
I used to get a lot of stomach problems,
right?
And I don't get them as much anymore
because you're on BPC.
Well, no, not not even that. Well, not at the moment. But like it was more that when I had a stomach problem, like, oh, my fucking stomach's playing up. No, my stomach's just part of me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm playing up. There's something going on in my head that's causing that. You know what I mean? Like, so I started, when my stomach started playing up, I would have a look around and like tell myself, no, we're okay. Like, we're all good. We're not in any danger. We're not stressed. We're all right. And my stomach will calm. And it's because my stress levels get so high, and I'll be like, oh, my fucking stomach's playing up again.
Yeah. And then
it wasn't my fucking stomach. Yeah. Like, my stomach is part of me. It's me that's playing up.
Yeah.
You know, like, and when you separate different parts of your system and saying, oh, you know, you've got to shut this down because this is playing up. No. Why is this playing up? Not. Don't just shut it down.
Yeah.
Like, it's there for a fucking reason to protect me. And if that's the case, then what's causing it to be angry and upset? Well, I've got to figure out what that is so my whole body can calm down, right, and actually work through this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Internals are all internal systems they're all part of the same pie. They're all different slices of the same pie.
Yeah.
Like when my ulcerative colitis and stuff happened, like when it first kicked off, I was in a really like early. So this is probably maybe 8 months before it really like took off. No, it was probably 2 years before it really took off. I had like a really bad relationship that was like stressing me out. Like she was like trying to fuck my friends and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck?
That'll stress you out.
And then I got rid of her.
Yeah.
And then got into another relationship. And then I thought that was solid. And then when she left, This was a few years past. That's when it kicked off again. So it was like a stress reaction to what was happening around me. Plus, I was living with a dickhead at the time, and
you know how we were talking about like things that you have in place to protect yourself when you're younger. That reaction is something that when you were younger, it would protect you. You know, like I didn't want to go to school and my stomach's sick. You know, like I got to stay home, whatever it is. So
that's a good point.
Then as you get older, you've still got those protective systems that you've created,
but
they don't serve you anymore.
Your body starts to believe what you think too.
But they don't serve you anymore. Like, because now all it does is make you feel crook.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's not, which is not helpful when you're an adult and you've got to work and stuff. So we create these systems when we're younger to protect ourselves, but as we get older, they don't protect us anymore. They actually make life really fucking hard.
I went to a naturopath when all this was happening. He gave me some weird shit to stuff up my ass and stuff. And I was like, fuck off, I'm not doing that. But he did bring up a great point, which was like, oh, what happened around this time? And I told him about everything that was going through. And then he reminded me that I had quit smoking weed. And since I was fucking 13 years old, that was my reliant thing.
Yeah.
At the time, I was like, because she, like the girl that I was with at the time was like, I don't like who you are on weed. And I was like, okay, let me change for you. And then she ended up leaving anyway. And I was like, this was my stress coping mechanism and I don't have it. So my body just kind of like fucking inflamed.
Yeah.
And since then, I've gotten into a great relationship with a fucking awesome girl. And we've had a son now together. And I'm clean off weed. I haven't touched it for like 2 years now. And I don't need to. I wasn't trying to be something for somebody else. I was just like, who am I?
But we do that too, like, because you're ADHD, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the same. But we create these, like, we don't know what it is, why our mind is so busy, because we think fucking everyone's like that. Like, you just assume that everyone thinks the same way you do, like, for most of your life.
Does your missus talk you down from that?
What do you mean?
Does she talk you down from all your crazy fucking ideas and
so
shit?
What I do is I write them on notes in my phone. And so that I forget about. Well, I never used to be.
Okay.
And it got to a point where my wife's like, you're doing all these fucking hobbies.
Yeah, gotcha.
And spending all this money on hobbies. So I started writing them down, and I've still got them on my phone. I go back through, and one of them is probably a podcast. You know what I mean? It's like, but I also go, well, how the fuck would that have helped me? You know what I mean? Like, what would that have actually done for me? Like,
I gotcha. I understand.
You know, like, so a lot of them. Generally, you've just got to get it out of your head.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it was put it on a piece of paper. And if I still have that idea in a month's time, then I'll look into it.
Right,
you know, so I sort of just get it out of my head and get it down on a piece of paper.
See, my problem with I guess I wouldn't say it's a problem either, because it's made me do some amazing things, which is my mental state is I love to dream of where I could be situationally. Yeah. So when I started the podcast, I didn't have anyone around me at the time to tell me no. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to start. Yeah. But at the time, it really took away from my music career. It really took away from my friendships and my relationships. But it was like the thing that was like, it was what I was doing. So I'm doing it. Yeah. And now I look back and I thank God that I did it and I started it, right? Because I wouldn't have what I've got now. Yeah. I probably wouldn't know the people that I know as well, which is fucking a little gratitude, people. You know what I'm talking about? And my missus now, she tells me, like, I'll be talking to her and I'll be in like my dream state thinking about what I could do next. And she's like, okay, do it. I'm going to give you this long. And I'm like, no, I was just dreaming. She's like, no, you seem pretty fucking clued in. You know what you want to do. Let's do it. And I'm like, okay. And then I think about it and I'm like, hey, babe, yeah, I'm not going to do that. That's a bit too much. I got too much on my plate. She like keeps me level-headed like crazy. Yeah.
And that's something that I've had issue with is filling gaps.
Yeah.
So instead of just sitting with my shit and just having a day off, I'm like, I could go and do this, or I can do that and do this. Whereas now I'm constantly looking for where can I have a day where I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Because I used to get really uncomfortable sitting myself. Like if I work 6-7 days a week and then I'd finally get a day off, and I'd be useless. Yeah. My anxiety would be fucking through the roof because I hadn't actually sat with any of my shit. I'd just been working, move to the next thing, blah, 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 and then eventually it just all comes in and collapses on you and you feel like a piece of shit. So now, like, when I'm having a bad day, I'll just say to my missus, I don't feel fucking good today. Like, I'm struggling. And she'll be like, do you know why? And I'll go, no. And she's like, okay. Like, because what I found is in the past, I used to, like, say we're in the shops and I'm all good and we're chatting and we're moving along, and then all of a sudden I just, boom, I feel like a bag of dicks. And I'm like, I used to go, fuck, why do I feel like this? And I'd try and figure out what triggered it, because sometimes it can be stuff like, let's say someone died when you were younger and you gave them a bunch of roses at their grave or whatever, and you saw the rose and it set you off, and you don't know why. But I would spend so much time trying to figure it out. All I was doing was feeding the anxiety and letting it progress and get worse and worse. So what I started doing was, when I feel that way, I just accept that I feel shitty today. And that's cool. Okay.
That's okay.
You know what I mean? And just accept that that's what it is. And I sit with it, and generally a few hours later or by the next day, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, whereas when I dwell on it and try and give it energy, it just perpetuates and gets worse. And then it'll last a day or two, or, because I'm giving it energy, I'm still thinking about it. Whereas instead of just going, no, I feel shit and that's okay. I don't need to know why. I just feel shit.
Yeah.
And as soon as I started doing that, it went away a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't feeding the energy of the shit.
I think the current problem that I have, thank you for opening up there. Yeah. The current problem that I have, it happened this morning. I freaked out. I was sleeping, so the baby's teething at the moment, right? And my missus comes in at I think it was 3 o'clock this morning. It's like, we were sleeping in separate rooms. It normally happens before I go to work on a long trip, or if I've got something important to do the next day. Yeah. I'll sleep in the master room, and she'll take the room next to the baby, or vice versa. It happens the other way too. And so I was sleeping, she comes in, she's like, the baby won't stop crying, and I'm like, she's started to cry, and I'm like, what's going on? She's like, I've only slept 2 hours, and I was like, it's okay, you take in there and I'll go with you. So I go into the baby, and I'm like, I get him to sleep in my arms, I put him down, I go to sleep in the bed, and he starts crying, and I was like, okay, well, he's sleeping with me then, because I can't keep getting up. So I grab him and come back to the bed, and he's all warm next to me, and then in the morning he just, I think he slept so well that when he woke up, he didn't know where he was. He freaked out, screaming, and he was right next to me. So that put me in an anxious, whoa,
as soon as you wake up,
holy fuck. And then it was 8 o'clock this morning, and I was like, oh no, I'm fucked. Barely, my sleep was all fucked up. Am I going to be okay for this podcast? Am I gonna, a lot of shit went through my head, and volume went up. I got real anxious in my own head, and my missus came in, and she's like, why are you yelling? And I'm like, I didn't realize I was yelling. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, fuck. And then I went and had a shower, and she brought the baby in because I think I scared him a little bit. And it's okay if you do that. Don't hold a grudge against yourself. It is what it is. You're a human. And it made me feel terrible because I don't want to do that to my son. No. I never want him to scare him from an emotional reaction. And it's happened before, and I don't want it to happen again, but it catches you off guard when you see yourself like that. Yeah. And when she brought him in after, he was just like this, he hugged me, it's going to be okay. And I was like, oh fuck, man.
I had a when my daughter was little, she was in I was looking after her for the day. Wife was doing whatever. She needed some time off, and I was like, okay, so I'm happy for the day. It's not a fucking big deal. And then she was still at the age where she was in the bouncer and stuff like that. And had her in the bouncer, and she was happy. And then she started getting upset, and I thought, oh, wonder what's wrong, So checked the nappy, and I'm like, it's fine. It's dry. I'm like, maybe she's hungry. She only fed her, a couple of hours ago, maybe she's hungry, so I'd get her a bottle. But I thought I'll pick her up and pat her. Nah. And so I put her in a bouncer, and I bounced her. Nah. I was like, fuck. And I was starting to get more anxious and just fuck, what's wrong? Am I doing something wrong? So then I get a bottle, and I'm like, I've got to give her the bottle. So I pick her up and feed her the bottle, and she's rejecting it and getting shitty with me. And I was like, fuck. So I put her in the bouncer, and I was like, fuck. And I threw the fucking bottle at the wall. Yeah. And then put my hand through the bedroom door. Yeah. Because I was just I was young. I would have been, fucking hell, I was 24 maybe. Yeah. And I just was like, fuck. Fucking screaming. Didn't know how to handle it. And I was like, okay, she's sitting in the bouncer at this point. So then I'm having a little outburst, and I'm like, okay, come on, pull your shit together. I've got to look after a kid here. And then I go over and I picked her up. And as soon as I picked her up, she went, and just fucking calmed down into me and fucking nodded off.
Wow.
Because I was getting anxious. She was picking up on my anxiety and was stressing her out.
Right.
So I might have the bouncing or the nappy change, or one of them might have worked.
Yeah.
But because I was so worked up, she picked up on that and she got worked up. But as soon as I let it all out and I calmed down and I came back and picked her up, she was calm because I was calm. And it was a massive lesson for me that, okay, I've got to pull my shit together here. Like I've got to. So like kids calmed me down heaps for that exact reason, because I didn't want to be that. Like I didn't want to be that young fellow who just outbursts and got angry and that sort of stuff, because I spent my whole life fighting and doing all that sort of stuff. Like I didn't want to be that for my kids. Like my dad's a really calm fellow, but he's like, he was the kids at school were scared of Spud Murphy, you know what I mean, like because he was quiet but not someone that you fucked with, you know, like. So, and as a kid, like I was never scared of my dad, but he was a disciplinarian, and you make a mistake, you fucking knew about it. You know, right. I learnt so much from him and his mannerisms, the way he comes. Like when I was in real trouble, he would sit down and be like, "Tell me what happened." Mm-hmm. He wasn't angry. He wasn't like yelling at me. He would just calmly go, "Right, what's happening here?" Like, and we'd have a conversation. Like when I got suspended for school when I was younger, I was like, Mum's like, "Oh, you can tell your father." And I was like, "Fuck." And Dad's like, "Well, you won't do that again, will you?" Yeah, I had the same issue, and you know, and I was like, "Oh,
it's that disappointed feeling."
Yeah. So, but yeah, with kids, man, they will set you off. Yeah. But you've just like, I guess as you grow and as they grow, you learn to control it more, and you know, and that's what I talk about. Like the song, being a man isn't about being able to beat the shit out of someone or fucking.
Good segue, brother. Yeah,
it is. Yeah. It isn't about like being that guy. Like I'm like a big component. I think I talked about it last time we were here. It was like you want to be able to be an animal and protect your family and do those sort of things when you have to. But you need to be able to control it as best you can.
Yeah, it's a Jordan Peterson thing he talks about.
That's him.
I read that book after I watched that podcast with him.
Yeah.
He's got a new one out, by the way. We Who Wrestle with God. I just bought it.
Yeah, okay.
I can't wait to read it, dude.
Yeah.
But there's like, manning up doesn't mean, hey, be the dude that just like pushes his emotions down.
No.
You know, it's not someone who doesn't talk about things when it gets hard.
No.
It's not the person, like the real man in the room isn't the one that can't express himself. It's the man who can do all those things and still be stoically strong.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and for me, I would keep things from my wife to protect her.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, so I wouldn't tell her things because I knew it would upset her or whatever it was. So I'd just deal with that internally myself, which serves you to a point. And then eventually it doesn't, and you become someone that she doesn't like because you're negative or you're angry or you're whatever it is. So I just started sharing everything with her. Everything.
To a point?
To a point where she'd be like, you know, you don't have to tell me you're going to do that. Like, you know, and I'm like, yes, I fucking do. Because you're either all on or you're all off. You know, like, and I don't want to. Yeah, I'll tell her if I'm going to rub one out.
Yeah. No, sometimes
you know what I mean. Like, but it's more about that communication, and it got to a point where it's like, because her communication style was very similar to mine. Like she still bottles things up and then implodes.
Yeah.
And then I've got to deal with an imploding wife. And it's not, when I say deal with it, I mean like be there for her and, you know, hold her and talk to her and stuff like that.
That sounds like me.
Yeah. But you had to learn that. Like I've had to learn that, you know, like to actively listen and not let your ego or be offended by her saying you've upset me because of this. You've got to go, oh, no, you're right, I probably shouldn't have acted like that, or whatever it is. Like, be able to self-reflect. Like, it's what they call it, sensory acuity. Being acute enough to pick up on your own senses that this isn't right. You know what I mean? Like, it's like someone, I can't remember whose expression it is. It's like if your goal is to see a sunset, and you start heading east and go, I'm going to fucking see a sunset. Well, you can have all the good intentions in the world and work as hard as you want. You ain't seeing a fucking sunset. Yeah. So you've got to be acute enough to realise that doesn't work for you anymore. Right. You know, and change directions and head west, and then all of a sudden you see a sunset. Yeah. You know, like, so it's being sensory acute to realise that, the way I'm being doesn't work for me anymore, or work for my wife, or work for my friends, or my kids, or my family, or whatever it is. Like, it doesn't serve me anymore. I've got to change direction. So you got to be acute of your own actions, you know, like sensorily acute of your own actions. So understanding that, okay, like we've had arguments and I've walked away, and because usually when it gets to a point where we're not getting anywhere, I just stop talking, you know, like so, and then I go away and I have a think about.
I do the same.
I'm like, was I wrong? Like I start questioning my stance in it. Was I wrong? Was the way I handled it poor? You know, that sort of thing. And then if it comes to the thing that you were wrong, like, or no, your part in it was wrong, like, because ultimately we're all responsible for how we act and whatever. So then we go, okay, I'll go out and say, hey babe, I'm sorry, like I overreacted, or I shouldn't have said that, because a lot of times it's just your ego going, hey, she can't speak to you like that, or he can't do that, or fucking, it's the ego getting in fucking control. So being able to sit and reflect on and go, okay, yeah, no, I fucked up, and go back to her and go, hey babe, I'm sorry, like I shouldn't have, you know, I overreacted, whatever it is. And then usually she goes, no, I shouldn't have brought that up, or shouldn't have done this, whatever it is. Like, and
it's amazing what traps your mind can get you into.
100%, especially in the heat of the moment, heat of an argument. You're like, no, I'm fucking right, you're fucking wrong. Neither of you are right or wrong. It's just two different ways of looking at something. You know, like, and like learning that, and that came from being able to communicate. Because there was one day I was talking to her about something, I was just bitching. You know, sometimes you just unload on someone and you just want them to go, yeah, that's shit. But instead she would do this thing where she would go, yeah, but maybe they're going through this or whatever. And I'm like, oh, can you not fucking defend these people? You know, like that's, you know, like I'm not asking you to defend them. I'm just asking you to just go, listen. That fucking sucks. You know, like, and but there was one day where she was like, yeah, but you're acting like this fucking right. I'm like, why do you do that? You're fucking protecting her. And she goes, because I've always said, I just wanted to share with me, be open with me. And she's like, I thought you wanted me to be open with you. And I'm like, fuck. Yeah, I did. Sorry. You know what I mean? Like, so I was getting upset with something I was asking her to do, you know, like, so I was like, okay. So like, I learned a lot about communicating, and like, and that's why I like this song. Like, it was, there's more than, being a man isn't just being tough, stoic, being able to fucking, you know, protect my family, like, from anything, like, because I feel like I can if I had to, like, I would put them all behind me, you know what I mean? I'd take every shot, you know, but it's more about being able to communicate your shit so that when you're not bound up by it, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have you on edge, like the stuff that you're dealing with internally. Well, I talk to her about it, you know, like we talk about so much shit. Like, as a couple, I reckon the last 5 years, we've grown way more than we did we've been together, we've been married 18 years, we'll be 19 next year. Like, and that's, in those last 5 of that is where we've grown the most, because if you don't grow together, you'll outgrow each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, I started growing like by doing all the work on myself with men's groups, psychology, all this stuff, that instead of forcing her to do what I'm doing, I just led by example, and I started doing what I'm doing. And then by being more open and honest and like sharing more and stuff, she started coming up to meet me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that's what she wanted. Yeah. But she wasn't sure how to do it. And
that's what you wanted to.
Yeah, I do. 100%. Like, I needed it. Like, I didn't want it. It needed to happen. Yeah. Like, honestly, if I hadn't changed and done the work on myself, we wouldn't be together.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just the reality of it, because
I think a lot of people living in that predicament, man.
Yeah.
You know, that it's just something that hasn't been said, or maybe a lot of people live under lock and key where, you know, I need to be able to say this to my person, the person that I'm with, but I'm so scared of the repercussions, or, you know, like cheaters and all, like people that never come clean about anything. I still know of a guy that fucking, he's exactly in that position where I just talked about.
Yeah.
And it's eating him alive. It's eating him alive. And he's honest about it, but he's not honest to her about it.
Yeah.
And I won't out him because, like, you know, like, what, it's that's your path, you know, like, and
women don't miss a beat, dude. Like, if you're off in any way, shit, they pick up on that shit. They pick up on it, and they're like, "What's wrong?"
My missus picks up on fucking everything.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like, she's like, "What are you feeling right now?" I'm like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah. Well, I've had moments like when we were in Bali. We went on holiday in Bali for 10 days, and we hadn't done that for like 7 years. You know? And we thought we'd take the kids and we'd do all that. And when I got over there, I missed my guitar, man. Like I had.
Is that why you bought another one? Wow.
Because I had no outlet.
Yeah.
And I was working while I was over there as well.
Walking around and shit. Yeah.
I had no outlet. I had no way to get my shit out. And there was days where I was sitting on the computer. There was one day I was sitting on the computer working, and it was like in the morning. Like I'm working on holidays, man. Like, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like it's really getting on me. And I was like, all of a sudden the anxiety just come in. I was really emotional. I'm like, babe, can you come here? And she's like, yeah. And she came over and gave me a hug, and I just broke down, man. Like for like fucking 3 minutes, just fucking absolute mess where she held me. And then once I worked through that, I went back to work and I was good. Awesome. But she knows that like when I need you, like it's not like I don't want to just fuck you. You know what I mean? Like it's not what I'm after. I'm after connection because I need to move my shit. So if I come and find you in the house and say, hey, can I have a hug? Stop whatever you're fucking doing. It's not important. Give me a hug because I need that shit. I'm coming to you because she calms me. You know what I mean? Like it's that connection that calms me. And like, man, like I'm not afraid to be sad and vulnerable in front of her. You know what I mean? Like, cause she's my person. You can't not be. And with the shit that, you know, I deal with, like PTSD and stuff like that from my time in defense, like I just need that sometimes. Like I can, and it's not that I need her as in I could not live without her, but I need her as in my life is better with her in it. You know what I mean? Like if I feel that gap that I'm missing is full with her in it, you know, like, and I think being a man's realizing that is important to you, that person is important, because a lot of us, we get caught up in the routine of being a dad or being a husband and just working and coming home and working and coming home. We lose that appreciation for what each other's actually doing. Like I've been on mine sites where guys, like heaps of people go through divorces on mine sites.
Insane amounts.
Yeah. And they're like, they go through a divorce or they split up with their wife that, you know, she's been home looking after their kids forever or whatever, and they split up and the wife takes 80% of their super or whatever it is. Because she doesn't have any super of her own because she's been at home looking after fucking kids. Yeah. And then they go, oh, that fucking bitch is taking my super, she's taking this, she's taking that. And it's like, yeah, hang on.
She's also giving you kids.
Yeah, without her there, you wouldn't have had half of that shit. Like those kids don't exist without her.
Yeah. That
lifestyle that, yes, you've come away and you've earned all the money, but it's our money because without her at home looking after them, I can't be here doing this. So like there was a time when one of my family members was like my wife, if she wants a pair of tights or she wants something, she just fucking buys it. And then it'll show up on the kitchen table and like, what's that? She's like, tights? I'm like, another pair. And she's like, oh yeah, it's the other ones. I'm like, whatever, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
But my family would be like, and you get upset with her just like fucking wasting money and fucking that sort of shit. And I'm like,
a pair of tights. She didn't buy a fucking Pajero.
But at the end of the day, it's her fucking money too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's like, what I try and still. My missus currently is having an argument with, like, an internal argument about makeup, and I was like, take $1,000, go to Mecca, get your fucking skin matched and whatever you got to do, and just buy it. And she's like, no, because she handles the finances and fucking granted to her, she knows what's there and what's coming. So, and I'm like, just do it. I'll make up the money. It's okay. Yeah. Who gives a fuck?
It's just money.
We'll take more money out of the business. It doesn't matter.
But there's always more money to be made, man. Money is infinite.
Yeah.
But time is finite.
Exactly.
We only have so much of it. I don't want to spend it arguing about something that's infinite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to argue about you buying a fucking new shirt or a dress or shoes, or like, I don't give a fuck.
With our business, it comes like so sporadically. Well, not timed well, but we could go from like earning $100,000 in a month to $20,000 a month.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like, well, fucking, while we got it, I can go for it. Yeah. And you don't know what's around the corner. We could have another blow up contract in the next couple months, and then you're going to be like, oh, what was I even fucking stressing about?
Yeah, and that's what so many people get worried about. Like, my wife stresses when we're low on money. I don't. I'll just do less.
Yeah.
I'll just stay at home.
Yeah, same.
Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I just do more podcasts. Yeah, like, I'm paying rent here anyway.
Yeah, I'll just do things that bring me fulfillment and joy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and so I've sort of, it's been a big journey. I think Man Up, the song itself, is a reflection of that, you know, like, because I talk about, like, going to groups you know, and
it's a great song,
you know,
man. I'm glad we got to play it on the podcast, man.
Yeah, so I'm fucking stoked
That's
too, man.
awesome.
Like, and ignoring others to get to know me, because there is people out there that don't like me, and there's people out there that like me. Like, some people think I'm an absolute fucking asshole piece of shit, and there's people out there that think I'm the best man they've ever fucking met. They're both right.
To them.
Yeah, to them. Yeah. Individually, yeah. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Or, yeah, they're the fucking, I'll have their back every day of the week.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's the reality of it. And people are like, oh, all these people they've fallen out with you. Oh, well, if you want, I can send you another 100 names of people who don't fucking like me. I'm 42 years old. Like, there's plenty of people out there that don't fucking like me just for being who I am.
Yeah.
And that's life, you know, like, and if they don't like me, I don't give a fuck. I've got my missus. Like, I've got
That's
my
all
kids.
that matters, man. Family.
Yeah,
It's
like,
all that matters. And friends. That matters. And like people that you can be honest and open with.
Yeah. And I've got a heap of other songs I've written that
I can't wait, man.
we'll record, man. Like, and it's just getting the sound out there. And like I said, like
This new sound that you got, dude, I'm fucking excited for it, bro.
and it's now I'm like I was saying earlier, like I'm looking at songs I've written that are like real country sort of songs, and I'm like, fuck, I want to change the way it sounds, the way it comes out. You know, like it comes across a bit differently. Like, because sometimes you're playing songs of other people's, and you're like, oh, I like that little bit of riff there, and but I like this breakdown of this song, I like that, and the chord progression. So I'm looking at not how it sounds, like not how vocally or how it's written, but how the music is portrayed. You know, like there's some songs I listen to, and it literally sounds like they're playing like one note, ding, 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 and then they're like, bleh, and then the song comes out, and you're just like, fuck, that's killer, just because of the way their voice comes across. Like, there's a song by Cooper Allen, which is a cover of Suit and Ties.
Okay, yeah.
And I sing that, like, if I'm in the car, I sing that acoustically in the car with just like a, like, and I fucking love it because I can lean into it and it's real raspy. Like, well, the way he sings it isn't, but the way I sing it, I can really fucking go raspy on it, and I just enjoy that sort of shit.
It's a beautiful thing about it. Yeah, you can make it your own, right?
And that's sort of what I want to do. Is
that's what Da Vinci said, man.
Yeah,
it's like good artists copy, great artists steal.
Yeah. So I do that. Like, you look at what other people are doing, like Coulter Wall, like the Blacktop, like a lot of just his
on the Blacktop.
Just his voice, like it's different to mine, but it's still that raspy thing. Like even
have you heard his new stuff?
I think that's what I've been listening to. No, probably not. No,
he's not raspy anymore.
No,
okay. He's real Willie Nelson.
Oh yeah, nice.
Willie Nelson.
I'll give it a listen because give it a listen. Because I like Johnny Cash. Like, I grew up on a lot of Johnny Cash, and it's that deep, simple singing, simple beat. Like, Johnny Cash's voice is super unique. You know what I mean?
Dude, there was a new comedy special out by Jim Jeffries, and he trashes the fuck out of Johnny Cash.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's in a funny way.
No, yeah.
It's an ode to Johnny Cash, but he trashes him for it.
Yeah.
It's so funny. We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, no,
because I think it's over 2 hours now.
Yeah, okay. Because I've got, we'll record some more songs, man, and hopefully
we'll podcast again.
Get the album completed.
Yeah,
and we'll. I don't know whether it'll be an EP. Like, I've probably got enough for I've definitely got enough for like a full album, but I think an EP would be nice to put out eventually. And
you've got more songs coming, and you've got some that are ready to release already, which is awesome.
Yeah, well, we got the Frustration, the acoustic version, coming out a week before, so the 21st, the week before.
Sick.
The Man Up comes out on the 28th.
Hectic.
Yeah, so we're sort of just
loading
promoting that at the moment, and then once they're sort of out, we've got other songs like already in the barrel, ready to just fucking get recorded and get them done. So some I think will be nice, acoustically low bass, and some will be full accompaniments. And
fuck yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Sick, dude. Spud Vincent.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been The Roadshow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.